In the bustling heart of an ancient Persian city, where the scent of spices mingled with the chatter of merchants, lived two brothers, Qasim and Ali Baba. Qasim, through a fortunate marriage to a wealthy woman, had become a man of considerable means, his house overflowing with riches. Ali Baba, however, was a humble woodcutter. His days spent toiling in the nearby forest, his family often struggling to make ends meet. One sweltering afternoon, as Ali Baba was deep in the woods, his axe splitting timber under the relentless sun, he heard the thundering approach of horses. Fearing bandits, he quickly scrambled up a tall tree, concealing himself among the thick foliage. From his perch, he watched as 40 heavily armed men dismounted their horses. Their leader, a formidable figure with a stern gaze and a magnificent beard, walked directly to a large rock. "Open sesame," the leader commanded, his voice echoing through the silent forest. To Ali Baba's astonishment, the solid rock miraculously slid open, revealing a dark, cavernous entrance. The 40 thieves, laden with bulging sacks, entered the cave. A few moments later, they emerged, their sacks noticeably lighter, and the leader again spoke the magical words, "Close, sesame." The rock slid shut, as if it had never moved. The thieves then remounted their horses and galloped away, leaving Ali Baba utterly bewildered. Cautiously, Ali Baba descended from the tree. His heart pounded with a mixture of fear and daring curiosity. He approached the rock and, remembering the magical words, whispered, "Open sesame." The rock obediently parted, revealing a breathtaking sight. Inside, the cave glittered with mountains of gold coins, shimmering silks, precious jewels, and untold treasures. It was a king's ransom, accumulated over years of plunder. Ali Baba, a man of simple needs, did not take more than he could carry. He filled 3 sacks with gold coins, loaded them onto his donkeys, and hurried home. He shared his incredible discovery with his wife, who, after her initial disbelief, was overjoyed. To measure their new wealth, they borrowed a set of scales from Qasim's wife, who was naturally curious about what her poor sister-in-law needed scales for. Before returning them, Qasim's wife slyly placed a piece of suet in the scales, and to her amazement, a single gold coin stuck to it. Upon seeing the gold coin, Qasim was consumed by envy and demanded to know the source of Ali Baba's sudden fortune. Ali Baba, kind-hearted despite his brother's avarice, revealed the secret to the cave. Qasim, blinded by greed, immediately set out with 10 donkeys, intending to empty the cave of its riches. He entered the cave and was so overwhelmed by the vast treasures that he forgot the magic words to exit. He piled sack after sack with gold and jewels, but when he was ready to leave, his mind went blank. "Open barley," he cried, "then open wheat." But the rock remained stubbornly shut. Just then, the 40 thieves returned. Furious to find their secret compromised and their treasure disturbed, they discovered Qasim trapped inside. Without hesitation, they slew him and dismembered his body, leaving a grim warning for anyone else who dared to trespass. When Qasim did not return, Ali Baba grew anxious. He went to the cave and found his brother's gruesome fate. Heartbroken, he brought the pieces of Qasim's body back to his home. To ensure a proper burial without alerting the town to the true circumstances of Qasim's death, Ali Baba sought the help of Morgiana, his clever and loyal slave. Morgiana, with her quick wit, devised a plan. She went to the local cobbler, a man named Baba Mustafa, and blindfolded him, leading him to Ali Baba's house. There, she instructed him to stitch Qasim's body together, paying him handsomely and swearing him to secrecy. Next, she spread the word that Qasim had died of a sudden illness, and with great ceremony, he was buried, his secret safe for now. The 40 thieves, however, soon discovered that Qasim's body was gone from the cave. Realizing that someone else knew their secret, their leader, a shrewd and vengeful man, resolved to find the intruder. He sent one of his men into the city to gather information. This thief stumbled upon Baba Mustafa, who, under the influence of drink, boastfully recounted stitching together a dead body in a rich man's house. The thief, feigning interest, extracted the location of Ali Baba's house. The leader of the thieves, now knowing the culprit, devised a cunning plan. He procured 38 large oil jars, one filled with oil and the others each concealing a thief. Disguising himself as an oil merchant, he drove his mule train to Ali Baba's house, asking for shelter for the night, claiming he had traveled far and it was too late to enter the inn. Ali Baba, unaware of the deception, graciously welcomed him and offered his hospitality. That night, Morgiana, needing oil for her lamp, went to the oil jars. As she approached, she heard a voice from one of the jars whisper, "Is it time?" Realizing the grave danger, Morgiana, with remarkable presence of mind, understood the full extent of the plot. She quickly heated a large cauldron of oil to boiling and then, one by one, poured the scalding oil into each of the 38 jars, killing the thieves hidden within. The next morning, the leader of the thieves, expecting his men to emerge, called out to them. Receiving no response, he grew suspicious. When he opened the jars, he found his men dead. Realizing his plan had been foiled, and by whom, he fled in terror, swearing revenge. Weeks passed, and Ali Baba believed the danger had passed. But the leader of the thieves, fueled by an insatiable desire for vengeance, eventually returned to the city, disguised as a rich merchant. He befriended Ali Baba's son, who now managed his father's business, and through him gained entry into Ali Baba's home as an honored guest. One evening, as Ali Baba and his family dined with their new guest, Morgiana recognized the subtle glint in the merchant's eyes, the same piercing gaze she had seen on the leader of the 40 thieves. She knew this was the moment of truth. During the after-dinner entertainment, Morgiana, known for her graceful dancing, performed with a dagger, a common part of such displays. As she danced, she suddenly plunged the dagger into the heart of the disguised thief. Ali Baba was horrified, demanding to know why she had killed their guest. Morgiana calmly revealed the thief's true identity, showing him the dagger that proved he was the leader of the 40 thieves. Ali Baba, realizing how Morgiana had saved his life once again, embraced her, granting her freedom and arranging her marriage to his son. With the threat finally gone, Ali Baba and his family lived out their days in prosperity and peace, their lives a testament to courage, wit, and the extraordinary loyalty of a remarkable woman.